Right. Hi, friends. We are down here at the Rio Gelao, the river here in Tavira where the ferries dock. And so we are waiting to get on a ferry and go over to the Isle de Tavira Island, where we'll see the beautiful beach. And right now you can see the river behind us is flowing outwards towards the sea. So behind us, it goes up into the mountains where it comes from, and then it flows down and then out around. Let me kind of turn around here. Well, it's probably better if I just go ahead and reverse my view. So this is behind us. This is the city of Tavira where we live, and the Rio Gelao River that goes through it. We turn this around, we will see that's the downstream side, and we're going to be getting on a ferry, one of those boats right over there, and we're going to be heading out through the Rio Formosa Natural Park, which is a series of salt marshes and estuaries that lie between here and the Atlantic Ocean, and then we are going to be on the beach. So it's going to be a great day. I'm glad you guys are here with me, and we'll get to see the ocean together, the beach. Lori's going to do some seashell hunting and for her collection. So there's a lot of beautiful seashells here, so she started a collection. And I'm not seeing anybody in the chat window yet, so kind of curious as to why that's happening, that I wouldn't see anybody yet. I know I had about 26 people maybe booked on this. So hopefully everything's going well with the channel. We're connected well. So I just see one participant on there so far. I don't see anything in the chat window. And I don't know if that one participant is actually my channel. So we got about 6, almost 7 minutes left. And let's see. I think I'm going to pop out and pop back in here to see. Oh, I don't want to finish the tour. So I will tell everyone the tour has ended. So I'm not sure what's happening, but looking forward to seeing some folks on here soon. And maybe get to see some chat going on here in a chat window. Looks like we're going to get ready to board. There's nobody in the chat window. Nothing. What? It doesn't need Wi-Fi, but I got a signal. I'm showing a good cell signal, and it's showing me. But I just saw there's just showing one person in the participant window, and that's probably me. So I'm not sure why that hasn't. If I end the tour and restart it, I think it might mess things up. Good morning. Yeah. With me? God, 5 minutes in. What's that? The tide's out? What about it?
That's why that was so steep.
Oh. I didn't hear the first part of what you said.
I said, remember that ramp?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to have to restart this thing because I've got nobody on this.
In a pocket.
Okay.
Putting them right in me this first one.
Okay. Now remember, this thing's going to turn around, so if we're on this side, isn't it going to turn around? So if we're on this side, we'll see that, right? Isn't that what we want to see, is the far side?
Probably.
Okay, so if we sit here, he's going to turn around. I think that's what's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. But I'm like 4 minutes out. Oh, look, now I got somebody here.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
now we're starting to bring people on. Okay. Hey, ready? I was starting to wonder if this thing was working. I didn't see anybody in the chat window yet. So we're about 3.5 minutes to actually getting this tour started proper. See, Diane and Alice are on here. Hey, thanks for coming today. Yay. And you can hear me okay? If you can hear me, give me a good thumbs up. All right. And L. Yeah, all right. Thanks, Diane. So, Rick and Lori here. And it's morning here in Tavira. We are, it's almost 9:30. And we're on the ferry already. We're on the boat. We, let's see, I can show you a route about where we're at. Right around here. The river is, this is the Rio Jalao. And I've done a couple tours where I've walked along it and gone over the Roman Bridge and some other things like that. So earlier, before we got the tour started, I was up above the river and we were looking around to see the river flowing out towards the ocean. And it comes in and out with the tide, of course. It's a 9-foot difference in level of the river with the tide change. We got Adrian, Shang, and Pesquina. This is just, of course, we're on low tide, so I'm kind of below the dock here, but this is just a little quick tour area of the dock. There's the ticket office where you buy the tickets to get on the ferry, and it is €2.50, €2.50 to ride the ferry out round trip. Good morning, Pasquina. And so we're going to get started here in a few minutes. I thought it'd be good for us to do the first part of the tour actually on the ferry ride, and I can talk to you a little bit about the Rio Formosa, the natural park, and also show you the area where we will be touring this afternoon. We're going to be looking for flamingos this afternoon. So I'm excited about that. Lori and I have been out to a spot where they feed, and we were able to see a big flock, a couple of flocks out there feeding. So hopefully,
that's on your next tour, right?
Yeah, that's on my next tour this afternoon, which starts, I think, at 4:15 Western European time. So, hi, Lynn. Good to see you this morning. And Julie from Melbourne. Good to see you guys.
If you can see the store.
Oh, yeah, okay. As Lori's saying, there's a lot of storks out here in Tavira. And if we go way over here in the distance, it's going to be kind of hard to see because this thing gets blurry. But if you see that smokestack past that light pole there, whoops, it's kind of getting touchy with the zoom. There is a stork's nest up on top of that smokestack. And I can just barely see it. That's as far as I can zoom in from here. Hi, Jen from South Australia. Good to have you. We're going to kind of zoom back out here. What's that?
Boats that are just sitting on the
Yeah. So we got, like I was telling you, we got low tide. And so you can see the boats here that have been docked at the river, and some of them were tied up to the edge. They are actually up on the beach now. So when the tide comes back in, those boats will be back in the water. And we're getting ready to go. So the ferry's turning around, backs out into the river, and turns around to head down this beautiful river. This bridge out here in front of us is the bridge for the vehicle traffic. So it stays fairly busy. If I could pan back over slowly, I don't want to get too fast. You can see upstream there is some of Tavira up on the hillside there. Adriana, good morning. And then there's the bridge, and then back in the background is a Roman bridge, what we call a Roman bridge. You'll notice there's a lot of construction cranes in Tavira, so there's a lot of building going on. A lot of expats moving into the area. It's popular with tourists in the summertime for its warm, golden, sandy beaches. And so that's where we're going today. So, yeah, good to have you guys here with me. As we head out to we won't actually go all the way out into the ocean with this vessel. We are going to go to a dock that is out at on this side of the island. It's an island that jets out into the ocean for the beach area for people to enjoy. And it looks kind of muddy and rough along the edges of the water here right now because the tide's out. And you see the boats are up on the beach there. So we're just cruising along at a slow pace. Over here, if you can see maybe off in the distance, Tavira has they call it the Grand Plaza Mall. It's a mall. And you can see maybe on the side of the building there the word Continente. That's a big store, like the anchor store of the mall. It's they sell groceries and all kinds of items there. It's kind of like maybe if you're familiar with stores in the States, like a Target or kind of a Walmart. But there's a lot of other stores in there. There are home stores, furniture stores, clothing stores, cell phone stores and accessories, things like that. There's a food court. So it's about 30-minute walking from our apartment in the center of Tavira. So we get to cross the river whenever we walk over there. So yeah, behind us you can see a little bit of a little more of Tavira, and you can see the waves from the ferry rolling out along the edge here. Pull back around here. I'm trying to pan slow so we can there's not a lot yet to maybe do postcards. We'll get you some good postcard shots along the beach and so forth. And there's that, go back out to that smokestack. There's the stork's nest up on top of that smokestack. I know it's about as far as I can zoom right there. You might be able to see that little patch of white on top of the nest. And when I went past one of the stork's nests here in town, actually I think it's the one right See, that cell tower has one in the top of it as well. I believe that's the one that has a baby stork I saw the other day. I zoomed as close as I could. I got a little picture. It was kind of blurry, but it's kind of neat to see the little baby's head sticking up above the nest. Hi, Karen. Good to have you here. And then as we go out, also look this way, you'll see in the distance a big mound of mostly white material that is salt. So there's a lot of salt harvested in this area in the Rio Formosa Park. And so how they do it is they have salt pans, and they use the ocean water, and they bring it in. There's these Rio Formosa salt marshes, so they bring it into these big ponds, and then they close them up and let the water evaporate, and then they harvest the salt and pile it up. Over in Castro Marim, which is going to be east of here, some of the hi Heather from Oregon. Nice to have you join us. There are some of the best salt in the world harvested over here at Castro Marim, about 15 or 16 miles east of here. We're about 18 miles west of the Spanish border. So between us and the Spanish border is the Guadiana River. And you can do a ferry ride over there and be in Spain just in a few minutes. So for us, it's about a 20 to 30 minute train ride over. And by the time we get to the ferry and get across, we can be in Spain in less than an hour just by public transport. You'll also see along the edge of the water here these old structures of these were that right there is part of the salt pan buildings, but I think some of these structures, and I know we'll see some others up here, were for tuna fish processing. So there was a lot of tuna caught here. There was that was the major industry for many years until the 1950s, and the tuna migration pattern changed. So all these beaches down here that were so beautiful and were already drawing some tourists, the local economy is in the Algarve region, and the Algarve is in the southern end of Portugal, which is the warmer end. Typically weather-wise, it gets pretty hot here in the summers, and so good beach weather. Hi, James. Good to have you. And so they turned to tourism as their main industry when the tuna fishing dried up. But there's still a lot of fishing here. There's still just a few minutes west of here in a little town called Santa Lucia. They have the claim of being the octopus capital of Portugal. And so there's a lot of octopus harvested there, and a lot of recipes. A lot of restaurants have a variety of recipes there. So kind of let you see the other side of where we're at. And on this other side is going to be some buildings that were used for the tuna fishing, the processing plants. A lot of them are abandoned and have fallen into disrepair, but some have been repurposed as Airbnbs and short-term rentals. So here's another little stream that flows into the Rio Jalao here. We're in the area right now called the Four Aguas. four rivers kind of join together before they go out into the ocean. And you can see some guys out here digging for clams. Let's wonder if we're having any. These guys here are our captains of the ferry and the crew. So on our way out, I don't know if they do it every time. I know some of the ferry rides I've been on before, they skip this port up here. But I think in the winter months, they also stop up here. There's another vessel going by. It's a little fishing vessel. Try to get positioned where we're not looking right into the sun. So yeah, we're cruising. It's taken us a little longer today than it typically does to get to the beach. Hi, Catherine. And I think because of the low tide, the ferry runs at a little bit of a slower pace. And you can see up in front of us there where that fishing boat is. There's another dock, and that's another area to get on the ferry. So I think we probably will make a short stop there as we continue on out into the Rio Formosa and the beach. We started the tour a little bit early so that we could get to enjoy the ferry ride out to the beach. Do that together. So over here, you can see that tower that looks like a bell tower over there. That is a hotel. I can't remember the name of it right now, and you see these other buildings that are out in front here. These are the buildings. These are some that I told you had been tuna fishing processing place, and then they converted these into short-term rentals for vacation stays. Hi, Dave. Good to have you. And right across from there, back this way, which can't see it yet, there's some salt pans where the flamingos tend to gather, and that's where they get their food. So they feed on certain kinds of really small brine shrimp and other aquatic life that live in the salt pans. And flamingos, the way they eat, they have this big scoop kind of bill. But they actually, when they put their head underwater, they turn their head upside down and they scoop the water and stir the stuff up on the bottom, the food, and then they sift it through their bills. So they push the water back out through these special formed, and for lack of a better term, teeth, kind of like a comb in their beak that allows them to sift all that nutrition out of the water, the shrimp and other things. Even some of the algae is part of their diet. So we're coming in around here. I'm going to pan back around, and that again is Tavira back there behind us upriver. And this is going to be a dock, and it's called the Four Aguas dock, and this is another place to get on the ferry to go to the beach. So pardon, I'm kind of panning back and forth because I wanted you to see the dock here, and the boat's actually turning around to pull alongside for boarding. Yeah, and then so you can see like underneath this this pier, there are so many barnacles and things because the tide's out right now. You can see that. See the deckhand here tying us to the port here. I mean to the dock. And I don't see anybody up here waiting, so we probably won't be here long. There may be some people getting off here, but mostly it's just grab people that are coming on out to go on to the beach with us. So we got Tracy and Helen, Ada, Lindsay. Thanks for coming. You can see all the life jackets up here along the frame. What? Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It's like right up here. Some little baby birds here looking for a snack. And I say baby birds. These are finches, so they're probably fully grown. It's just some very small birds. And so here again, we're kind of looking back upstream here. There's a few little boats there, fishing boats. And this guy's getting his boat ready for when the tide comes in. He'll be able to launch. The tide, I think, is going to be completely out in about another 30 minutes to an hour. I looked at the tide tables the other day. So we're going to get out to the beach around low tide, which is good for seashell hunting. It's what pastime of ours. Lori loves to gather up those pretty seashells, and she's got a collection at home. I should maybe take a picture and put that on the tour sometime. So, hi, Diane and Maureen. Good to have you guys here. So there's another little small skiff, little boat there, tied up to the, well, he's close to the dock there. So we have some people are loading some supplies for the restaurants. And last time we were out here, the restaurants weren't open. So maybe they're going to be starting to open again for tourists. It's not quite tourist season yet, but we're getting closer. And people come here all from all over the world to vacation. And I see them. So right now, it looks like they're loading up is some beer kegs. Super Bock is a brand of beer here that's made in Portugal. And it's a pretty good lager. It's usually what I order, and it's usually what they have on tap at many of the restaurants here. There's also another Portuguese beer called Sagres, which is good as well. So once we get these supplies loaded, we will be on our way and headed back out to the Rio Formosa and the beach. So I'm try to do a little bit of a zoom over here. There's another picture of the beach over on the side of the river here. And trying to give you guys a kind of a little bit of a view here without getting a lot of people involved and a lot of tourists. I like to have the privacy and so forth, so I try to be aware of that, and especially with kids and things like that. Hi, Richard. Good to have you. And so we're just kind of pan back over. There's the, again, there's that hotel. If you can see right here a little bit, that yellow building with a spire on the top and the little turret. So I haven't been over there. We haven't stayed in the hotel or anything, but we have been a walk walked over by it. And we actually drove, when we had a car in it, we drove over to it and kind of looked. It looks really nice. And then if you look back this way in the distance, on the edge of Tavira is another kind of a suburb of Tavira, part of Tavira called Cabanish. And that's another town where there's a lot of expats live there, U.S. and U.K. especially. The U.K. Folks from UK have been coming here for decades as a resort spot, holiday spot in the summertime, and then more recently, other people from other parts of the world have discovered this area, the Algarve region in Portugal. It's sunny and warm. And we've traveled a little bit. Hi, Roger. Good to have you. We've traveled a little bit around the Algarve, and we posted some things on our website, rickandlori'sgrandadventure.com. So if you want to take a look there, you can see a little bit more about our travels. We have a Facebook presence as well, and some other social media, but that's our kind of our main channels. And so it's fun. We started Rick and Lori's Grand Adventure probably about 4 years ago, shortly after we got married and started traveling. And we had full-time jobs for a while, and most of that time. And then about a year ago, we decided that we would try to do traveling and adventure full-time and see if we could make a life of doing that. So far, we've had a lot of fun, a lot of adventures, and a lot of seen a lot of pretty places. Learned a lot of things about the culture. You know, living here in Portugal is a little different, but we found that the people here are very friendly. It's a safe country, so we've actually applied for our residency here, and we've been granted residency, and that's the way that works is they give you residency for 2 years, and then you can renew it for 3 more years, and then at the end of the 5-year period, you can apply for citizenship. So we're not sure that we're going to be here that long to apply for citizenship, but we did want to go ahead and get our residency card because we wanted to stay longer than a typical tourist visa will allow. And then we can also, from Portugal and from Tavira, where we live now, it's a very good transportation system for us to see all of Portugal. You know, by train or bus, we can get to Lisbon and other places like that, and all over Portugal. And then connecting trains and buses and things like that will take us to Spain. The air travel prices for tickets are very, very inexpensive. We can get a ticket from either Lisbon to Madrid for about $45 or 45 euros. And we're within about, it takes us a little longer to get to Lisbon, about 3 hours by train. And so, but it's not a bad ride. They have some really nice trains, fast trains for the longer distances. So kind of get turned back around here again, see where we're at. Here's Rick and Lori. Say hi, Lori.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, she's going to be shell hunting today. So we'll get to show you some of her seashells she's collecting for her collection she has at home. Peter says hi. And Annie from Melbourne, Australia has joined. I guess that's Melbourne. Couldn't put all that in there, I suppose. Yeah. And
Longer than normal.
love shells, Adriana says. Yeah, usually we're not stopped at this stop as long. So, but we'll get you to the beach. Barbara from Durham, North Carolina. Nice to see you. Probably, what time is it about? Gosh, I don't know. It might be like 3 a.m. over there or something. So thanks for coming and joining us. But yeah, usually we're just a quick stop here. It seems like they've got a lot more supplies there. Oh, 4 in the morning. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty early. Hi, David. And so I see as more people join, we are going to get this ferry rolling here pretty soon and be on our way over to the beach. And the beach is on an island. It's called the Isle de Tavira, or English would be Tavira Island. Warm, sunny, golden sand beach with the Atlantic. 1:55 in California. Oh, Adrian, bless your heart, you're up early to join us here. Yeah, thanks for coming. I appreciate all you guys joining us on this tour. You know, it's good to have that support and encouragement because, you know, we like to do this. I like to do the Heygo tours. Lori posts more things on our website. She's the writer. And so she's also a very good photographer. So she does a lot more of that stuff. And Nana, good to see you, Nana O. And so that's kind of how we work. And so we're just trying to make a go of traveling full time and, you know, building our channels here for people to see other parts of the world. 9 p.m. in Australia. Wow, yeah, we got quite a variety of time zones. So yeah, it's like, what is it, 9:30, almost 10 here, 10 a.m., of course. Hi, Jan, Christine. Good to see you. Good to have you on here. So yeah, we got people from all over the world here joining us for our little trip out to the island, Tavira Island in southern Portugal. Kind of trying to find some interesting things to look at and take postcards maybe while we're waiting. And like I said, that is a hotel on the beach there, a bit along the river. So this isn't going to actually be on the beach of the Atlantic. We're not there yet, but the beaches are not very busy this time of year, and we're kind of early in the day, so there's probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 people on here, passengers that are going out to the beach today. And we are going to pick up a few more passengers here. We're at the Four Aguas dock to take on passengers and supplies for the island. There's restaurants over there and regular facilities for tourists. They have bathrooms and showers, things like that. So they have to keep all of that supplied. And it's like a nice young family here coming on. Thanks for staying with me here as we make this crucial stop for the island, supply the island. Let's over here a little bit more and get that pole out of the way. And like I said, back up that way is going to be Tavira. Right over here, we looked at this earlier. There's a mall, and it's got about 100 plus shops in it. The anchor shop is called the Continente, and it's got groceries and a variety of other household things in it. And where am I from? Okay, so Lori and I moved to Tavira from Oregon. It was the last place we lived. So I grew up in Oregon, and then I lived in Oklahoma for about 40 years of my life. Had a career there in higher education and that kind of thing, and then did a kind of retirement. So we're semi-retired, still trying to earn some income here on journeying on our travels. So trying to make a full-time excursion of leap of faith into full-time travel, I guess I might say. Yeah, it is a big change. Thanks, Annie, and got Olive on here now. So it's like we're getting ready to disembark here shortly. Got the crew are pulling up the ropes. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So we got had a lot of fun already. We got married 4.5 years ago, and they're telling them to hurry up because we're getting ready to push off here, and we got people still trying to get on board. So yeah, I apologize for the delay. I kind of thought we'd be out to the beach by now, or at least to the island, but like I said, this stop here is taking a little bit longer than typically does. We're going to get started here shortly. So yeah, we traveled. We've done a lot of travel in the U.S. and I did some Heygo tours over there when we were in that area for visiting family and traveling across the country there. We did some Route 66 tours. There we go. All right, we're pushing off now. And so if you're interested in seeing any of that, go to rickandlori'sgrandadventure.com and our Facebook as well. We have some things that are on there about those travels in the States, and then we've been to Canada. We've been to other parts of Portugal. Lisbon was really fun. We went up there. We've been there a couple times. When we moved here, we flew into a city called Faro, which is in the Algarve region, because it was closer for us to get to our apartment, and we had a lot of luggage and things like that. So we did that. But the last time we went, we flew out of Lisbon and flew back into Lisbon. It's a busier airport, but we needed a direct flight back when we came back from that trip to stay in compliance with our visa. So we have a D7 residence visa. And then through the process, the immigration services, and through that process, we were able to get our residency permit card. And so now we can stay in Portugal for a full 2 years without reapplying. We do have to stay in compliance with being in the country for 16 months out of the 24 months total. If you guys want to learn more about what you need to do to move over to Portugal, or just more about Portugal, you can, like I said, visit our website or our Facebook page. We're starting to post some things like that because we found that a lot of people are interested in that. And here's a few more sailboats here that are moored along the edge of the river. I'll try to get maybe a pan here of some postcards for you. Some of these sailboats. And we got another fishing boat coming up here. Let's see if I can zoom just a little bit. Try to get that in the frame. That'd be a nice picture for you, a nice postcard. Try to follow that a little bit. Some of these boats have some very interesting colors. A lot of them are very brightly colored. Things like that. And we're now pulling up to the dock to disembark and go on over to the beach. So here we go, folks. We're kind of maneuvering into place here. You can see the ramp behind me where we're going to get off here on this dock. And it's just a few minutes from here to walk to the beach. Hi, Doreen. Good to have you. Glad that all of you could join us today. It's a beautiful day. Nice sunny day. It's in the 50s Fahrenheit today. Right now, it's going to be in the 60s. So we're going to get turned around here and head out to the beach. So let me give you one last shot here from this view. Maybe do another postcard of the sailing boats here and that nice hotel in the background. Things there. And here we go. So I'm going to get turned around and we're going to head on down the ramp here. These ferries have big diesel engines on them, so they're kind of loud, but it's not bad when you're up above them and stuff. You can see all the supplies that we took on board from that other dock. And so they're getting stuff for those restaurants. And here's my beautiful Lori waiting on me to head to the beach. All right.
Everybody hanging in there?
I think most of them are still with us. So yeah, it's
Kind of a long trip.
kind of a long trip, a lot longer than normal. Usually we're over here in about, from the time we get on the ferry in Tavira to get over to this area is probably about 15 or 20 minutes, and it's taken us 37 today. So thanks, guys, for being patient. But we did get to see, some sailing boats and some other things along the way. So hopefully you got some good postcards there. So as we enter here, you'll see some of the signs that directing to talks about concessions and restaurants. It's actually a camping area here, picnic area. They recycle here in Portugal, which is nice. So you see recycle bins everywhere. And a little bit more about the beach there. Welcome to Tavira Island, it says. So still learning Portuguese. I haven't learned a lot yet. And most of the time over here in this area, especially in the Algarve area and the southern end of Portugal, most people speak English. And the native people here, there's a high fluency rate in English, and it's even taught in the schools as a mandatory second language. So in more recent times, especially, some of the older generation are, oh yeah, beta, yeah, he left for a minute. Now we're on the land. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about the delay back there on that one little stop, but they had more supplies and stuff to load than usual. So yeah, this is the little path over to the beach. And it's a nice little path. It doesn't take long to get from here to the beach. And in between is an area of restaurants and other facilities. I mentioned there's a campground here for people to come over and do tent camping. You can see over here there's a playground area for the kids. And then there's shower facilities and bathrooms and those kinds of necessary things. I'm sorry, I can't read Portuguese yet, so we'll just kind of go as we can. Okay. So this is the office for the park camp, and then kind of come back over this way. It's another little bit of playground equipment, and I mentioned the recycling here. So in certain areas, they have these big wire fish structures that people can throw their plastic in, and that keeps the plastic out of the ocean. So very aware. They're very aware here environmentally with recycling and those kinds of things. So, and again, this is early in the day, so even in regular season, these restaurants probably wouldn't be open yet. But I hear some activity here. Somebody's getting one of these open. And so maybe they're going to be open today. Last time we were here, none of these restaurants were open because it was off season. But as the weather gets warmer and people start to visit the beach more often, these places will be open. And they have a great variety of seafood and ice cream and other treats and desserts and things like that as well. They also have burgers and, more Western style dishes and entrees. So you see Lori is on her way. She wants to get there to that low tide so she can get as many shells as she can find on that. And here's a little bit more of the restaurant area. And I see that we're actually kind of running out of time for what I allocated for this tour, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stay on here. And as long as you guys want to stay and look at the beach here while we're here, it'd be great. And Praia de Tavira is Tavira Beach. And so you can see away from the ocean. You can see it out there on the horizon. And Lori's making her way down there. So appreciate you guys being with me today, hanging out and getting to enjoy the sunny weather here in Tavira, Portugal, and get to go to the beach with us. If you have any questions about the area or about my journey, Lori and I, our journey, any of those questions. I started doing Heygo tours. Oh gosh, I guess it was October 2022 is when I actually started. October, November, that area. And it's been a lot of fun. So if you want to follow, you can do that. It'd be nice if you could follow, and then you can get the notifications of my upcoming tours. I've got one this afternoon at 4:15 Western European time to go out and look for some flamingos. We're going to go to an area where we've seen them before. Love the sea, but couldn't be there for a long time. So I can watch for ages. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, we will keep you on here for a while, Beta. And yeah, it's a nice day, and it's pretty vacant. There's not very many people out here. In the summertime, they have these little cabanas, and they have a lot of chairs and things out here on the beach. The lounge chairs. Yeah, Annie, we are planning to live here for a while and see Europe. We're planning to live in Portugal. That'll be our base because we have our residency here established through the immigration services. And then we can travel and see the rest of Europe from here. So that's the idea, yeah. So far, we've gone to a few places around the Algarve region and Portugal, and then we've been to Lisbon. It's a really nice tour we did there. I didn't do a Heygo tour there because I wasn't set up for it at the time, and hadn't tested the signal. Our schedule is kind of random, so I wasn't able to set anything up. But we'll get there and do another one, do a Heygo tour there eventually. All right, so here we are, folks. We finally made it. You can see as we look this direction to the left, which is going to be looking eastward. Hi, Kat. Good to have you here. You can see these little, we say a lighthouse or a beacon, to show where these jetties go out into the ocean. And off in the distance over there, gosh, it's kind of hazy because there's a little bit of a dust storm. Sometimes we get dust storms from Africa that blow in. And I'm trying to see if we can see all the way out on the horizon. Whoops. Americans are moving to Portugal more. Yeah, they are, Diane. And so, you know, with the idea that people can now, you know, this digital nomad idea, people can travel and do their work online. Sorry about the back and forth with the gimbal. I was trying to get that. It's kind of hard to see on the horizon, but that is towards Monte Gordo, which is in Portugal, and then past that, Villarreal de San Antonio, and then past that is Spain. So I don't think we're going to be able to see the Spanish beach from here today, but because of the haze and so forth. And typically we can see all the way out to Monte Gordo, which is probably about 5 or 6 miles from the Spanish border. Yeah, and so, Diane, there's that's true. And I'd mentioned that Lori and I were putting together some materials to help people navigate the system, the D7 visa process and immigration services and all the documentation that's necessary to make that transition. And so here's, as you can see, thousands, probably hundreds of thousands, millions of seashells here along the beach. And they just, you know, of course, this beach stretches for miles. The Europeans would say kilometers. All the way on the southern end of Portugal. And then, of course, when you get over to the western side, you go up the coast north, and the beaches get more rocky, and there's more cliffs and that kind of thing. So in this area, we are doing, you know, we're getting some white sandy beaches, kind of a golden sand. Here's a little seashell. I like these orange colors in these seashells. And sometimes you find little pieces of pots like this. And this pot could be ancient. It could be here from when the Romans or the Moors were here. The Moors inhabited this area from like the 8th century to about the 11th, 12th century before the Crusaders came through and Christians took this area. But even back, Romans were here before that, Phoenicians in the 8th century BC. I'm not saying this is that old. It could be, but it also could be part of a pot that is used for capturing octopus. The way those are captured is to drop a pot down at night, and the octopus will get in that pot for shelter. And then the fisherman will pull that pot up, capturing octopus in there. The average temperature here, depending on summer, winter. So in the summertime, average temperatures can be up in the daytime in the 80s and 60s in the evening. And then in the wintertime, more like 50s to maybe 60s as the high in the daytime and 40s in the at night. So it doesn't get below freezing. That's all Fahrenheit. You can do the conversion for Celsius. But yeah, any amber on the shore? I haven't noticed any amber. We haven't found any of that yet. But just like I said, tons and tons of seashells. So we'll go down here and I think this right now is the lowest tide that I've been here for. So you can see that quite a ways out there. Yeah, Lori's doing some exploring, getting out to some of the areas that she hasn't been able to get out to. But yeah, this is just a wonderful day to come out. And so a lot of times when we come out, we just bring a blanket, lay out on the beach for a few hours, and enjoy the sun and the ocean, the beach, the surf. I don't know if you can hear it because I've got this lapel mic, but I'll be quiet for a minute and see. Okay. Let's see, you can see there's a boat out there for the distance. And I'm going to put this out and then see if you can maybe hear the waves. I'm going to just take my mic off and put it out towards the ocean. Yeah, I agree, Annie. It is always calming. That's why I told Lori, I said, it's like we should always come here at least once a week just to relax, reset, refresh. I think it's the most peaceful environment that I've ever encountered. And I really like the mountains and the trees up in the mountains and such, and it's really peaceful there. But like this, the ocean, the waves, the kind of the rhythmic sound is just so relaxing. Yeah, okay, Lori's got some shells here. Let's see what she's got. She's been collecting a lot of smaller shells, and believe it or not, when you get down and you just kind of scrape the surface of this sand, there are some shells that are almost as tiny as a grain of sand. So she started to collect those. Let me get back here so it's not blurry. Let's get a little picture of that. What's that?
I need to get my headband.
Oh, okay. All right. Looks like my signal's kind of dropped a little bit. I have to go back up closer to there we go. Now the signal's back. And I've got the backpack on. So right now Lori's getting some things out that she needs. And I'm going to pan over here down the beach. Okay. So during the tourist season, of course, there'll be a lot more folks laying out on the beach, and little cabanas opened up over here. Hi, Annie. Thanks for coming. No, we're kind of running late a little bit on our schedule, but took us a little longer to get to the beach than we expected. So just wanted to hang in here with you guys and give you a little bit more time at the beach. Saw this. This was an interesting, and it's just amazing how that the sand wears away at some of these, at the seashells, and makes them so smooth. You can see this one. Kind of a lot of contours in it. Oh, yeah. Hello from London. Hello again. Yeah, so, and then we were looking, and here's another piece of a pot here. Broken pottery. Shard, a pottery shard. And this one's a little different color. I haven't seen this color. Usually they're that kind of pink. This one looks like maybe it was at one time, and then it's just gotten bleached out or discolored from the ocean. So some really beautiful. Let me get down here a little more. I really like that one right there with all the stripes on it. That's really pretty. And so you have all shapes and sizes and colors. And it looks like I'm losing my signal here. So I think I'm going to have to raise my phone back up and, whoops, get the signal back. Yeah, so when I get down close to the sand with my phone, my gimbal, I start to lose the signal a bit. So I'll have to maybe zoom in or something for you to see the shells a little more. But we'll just walk down the beach together, take a nice little slow walk. And thanks so much, guys, for joining me today and for all your support. I do appreciate it, and it helps keep me going and keep these tours going. So follow, leave some reviews if you can. Share your postcards. If you feel led to tip, it's great support as well. And we'll just keep them coming. Oh, thank you, Adriana. Looky here. Look here. There's another one of those lovely orange scallops. You say it's a scallop. I don't know. The ridges. And then this one here is, drop that. You can see this one's real pretty. It's more of a smoother kind of color. All right. Hi, Laura. Thank you. I appreciate you being here with us. Oh, thank you. Enjoy your day as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the windsock off of my microphone and see if I can maybe help get a little bit more sound in from the ocean. Okay, maybe now. Yeah, it is calm, Tracy. Very nice. Can you hear the surf now? The ocean? tried. I thought maybe I'd get a little bit of the sound of the ocean in there. Maybe just catching some wind. Thank you, Beta. Okay, I'll put the cover back on my microphone. Go ahead and see if I can clip it back up here. Oh, okay. Thank you, Adriana. Yeah, I need to probably wrap it up here before long. I know we went over our scheduled time, so I appreciate you coming today. God bless. And so I'm going to turn this around here a little bit and see. Get a little bit of the ocean in the background here. And just say thank you guys for coming so much. And I love you guys. And I'm so glad you were able to come with us to the beach today. And we will plan on seeing you again soon. Get those notifications. I've got a Heygo tour coming up this afternoon, and we're going to try to see some flamingos later today. All right. Okay, guys. I'll see you soon. God bless.